I need bait. Guys, I'm going to show you an ancient technique. I have to do it where no one can see me. I'm going to show you the secret technique for getting worms, okay? We're going to do it in a stealthy location. I'm going to do it over here. Okay, check this out. Just wait for it. Actually, I've never tried in this location. See that? Handful of worms. It's the ancient technique of worm gathering. And you can sell them to people as premium bait and they'll buy them 75 per because they don't know. They don't know about this. They don't know you can do this. Actually, let me tell you now. Well, it's time for the fishing podcast for a little bit, guys. Until Tony's ready for moonshine. Oh my god. I stepped in the water and it became hell. You said you think Yuna's physically incapable of keeping a secret? He will if it's actually high stakes. But the thing is, I mean, let's all realize something. People share info. If I share this with him, I'll share this with him and he can get ahead a little bit. If I don't share this with him, he'll find out eventually. If he doesn't already know. Because people share info. That's it. The only time things are kept super secret is some people, when they keypad stuff, they'll send each other the code on Discord. Or they'll only tell each other when they're not streaming. And then they'll enter it in using their numpad or, you know, number keys so you can't see them clicking the numbers. That way nobody could ever meta the code or anything like that. Some people do that. A lot of people do that in Rust, especially. The other thing is that, you know, there's a lot of people on the server. Even if myself and, you know, my closest streamer friends do not learn meta info or use meta info, there will always be some people that do. Or they get a really big hunch, right? They know about the worms things. They're standing around. Someone's like, I wonder how you get worms. And someone else is like, why don't we just try digging them out of the ground? Which, you know, makes sense in RP, but like some people might do that just because they saw someone do it on their stream, you know? So it's stuff like that where it's like, you can't avoid it. It'll always happen. People get a really strong feeling. And, you know, it's whatever. But the other thing is, a lot of the time, there will be people who genuinely think about that. You know, someone finds this thing first, and it's because it's always something that makes logical sense. So it's not always even meta if someone gets, like, a hunch on it, you know? So it's just not worth gatekeeping stuff that's easy to figure out, I think. You know how I found it out? I started doing the gardening emote in some dirt because I was trying to have police not see me. I was doing a moonshine run late at night, and I was being followed, and I managed to get out of the car and run into a backyard. And I was like, what if I pretend I'm a gardener? That'd be so fucking funny. And so I do the gardener animation, and then I get worms, and I was like, what? Oh, and I realized you could just get worms. That was it. That was how I found it out, because I was like, haha, what if I blended with this other gardener in this backyard in like Rockford Hills area? So, you know, things happen. Things make sense. If you were racking your brain, if you were cooking on how do I get worms, the same way we were cooking on what does cardboard mean the other day when we were trying to figure out the ice progression, you probably figure it out. So, you know, people are really quick to accuse of some stuff, but like, I don't know, man, I don't know. Like with this heist, you know, day one, I was like, oh, we need to flood the sewer because we figured that out because we didn't have the tool. And then we did have the tool and it was like, water needs to be higher after we checked it. So I was like, oh, well, what places affect water in the city, right? Like that's a natural thing you would think. So that's why literally the next day, the second day we were doing the heist, before the heist, I was running around to those locations, looking at them and being like, hey, maybe I should scope these out a little bit. Right? So if anyone else does end up finding that stuff, like, yeah, Lang said, nah, that's dumb. I was so... It wasn't dumber than standing at the PC and trying the same hack 100 times. It made sense for me and Marty, maybe, to test the doing it at the same time theory, stuff like that, but not for, like, 4 people who aren't even... Some of them aren't even hackers to be, like, standing there, you know? I was like, come on, man. If they had listened to me and decided to go check around, then today's heist, we would have had so many supplies. We would have brought a fuck ton of thermite. Would have been on that shit, you know? But at the same time, I'm not concerned about being first, so it's not really like a big deal. It's really not. I do want to try the little fish hack again, though. I really want to try that one again. I want to try it. I found out the next step. You'll have to watch clips to find out.